We often look up at the night sky and see a silver watchman, a companion that has hovered over our history, our mythology, and our tides for 4.5 billion years. We take its silence for granted.
But what if it never happened? What if the protoplanet Theia missed us in the chaotic dance of the early solar system? What if Earth were left to drift alone? Without that violent collision, there is no debris field, no coalescence, no moon. And without our partner, the Earth does not become the garden we know. It becomes a high-speed, chaotic, and lonely marble. The first casualty of this solitude is time itself. Currently, the moon acts as a gravitational brake. Through the friction of tides, it slowly steals our rotational energy, lengthening our day. Without this tidal braking, Earth retains its primordial spin. On a moonless Earth, a day does not last 24 hours. It lasts merely 6 to 8. The sun rises and sets with dizzying speed. We would witness over 1,000 sunsets every single year. This rapid rotation imparts a terrifying amount of energy into our atmosphere. It amplifies the Coriolis effect, the force that bends the path of fluids on a rotating body. On our Earth, the trade winds are gentle breezes. On the lonely marble, the Coriolis force drives lateral winds exceeding 200, perhaps 300 miles per hour, not as gusts, but as a permanent state of existence. Super hurricanes would scour the surface for months at a time. Evolution would never favor the vertical. There would be no forests reaching for the sun, only low, clinging life, hiding from the relentless shear of the sky. But the wind is a minor inconvenience compared to the chaos of the axis. You see, the moon is more than a nightlight. It is a gravitational anchor. It stabilizes Earth's obliquity, our axial tilt, at a steady 23.5 degrees. Without that stabilizer, Earth behaves like Mars. Our axis would wander chaotically over millions of years, swinging from 0 degrees to a nearly horizontal 85 degrees. At zero tilt, seasons vanish. The poles freeze permanently. At 85 degrees, the North Pole points directly at the sun for months, boiling under relentless radiation, while the South Pole plunges into a frozen, dark winter. The climate would not just change, it would convulse. And what of life? We believe life began in the tidal flats, the mixing zones where water meets land, churning nutrients into the primordial soup. Without the moon, we are left with only solar tides. These are weak, roughly 40% of the strength we know today. The great intertidal pump that drove molecular evolution would be feeble. Abiogenesis might still occur, but the path to complexity would be fraught. Without the light of the moon, nocturnal predators and prey would evolve in absolute darkness. And with hurricane-force winds scouring the continents, life might never summon the courage to leave the safety of the oceans. We often dream of other worlds, searching for a twin of Earth. But a planet is defined as much by what orbits it as by what it is. That cratered gray rock is not merely decoration. It is our shield, our clock, and our anchor. It tamed the winds, steadied the poles, and pulled life onto the shore. We are not just Earthlings. We are a binary system. And without our silent partner, we would be truly, profoundly alone. The lonely marble,